Are you experiencing pain into the shoulder with overhead movements? Maybe you're pressing overhead, doing lat pull down, pull-ups, or just simply reaching up into the cabinet. In this video, I'm going to teach you why this could be and how to fix it. What's up guys? Dr. Nick Bonforte, physical therapist. So shoulder discomfort, pain issues, whatever the case may be to the shoulder, it can be bothersome with overhead activity. Now there's many reasons that this can be. Commonly it's associated with two main reasons: strength and flexibility. More often than not, it's a flexibility issue that leads to some compensations, and that leads to the shoulder brewing up in pain. But you might be thinking, how do you know if you have a flexibility problem or a strength problem? Let's dive into figuring out how you can assess that. So a simple way to figure out if you have a mobility problem is to test out the lat length. Now, when we get over our head, when we bring our arms overhead, the lat muscle lengthens. When we lack flexibility into that muscle, that can lead to some of the problems that are brewing up into the shoulder. So you can see with this test, the back stays flat against the wall, and the idea is we're keeping the arms locked out with the thumbs up, raising up to see if we could touch the wall. Now, the keys with this is maintaining the back flat against the wall. An indication you might be lacking lat muscle flexibility is if A, you can't touch the wall, B, your elbows start to bend and flare out, or C, you lose contact with the wall. When one of those three are a problem, that can give you some good insight that you might be missing lat muscle flexibility, and that could be a contributing factor to why you might be experiencing some of the discomfort to the shoulder with overhead activities. Getting the arms overhead from a strength standpoint, it's a good idea to look at how well the rotator cuff is functioning, specifically the external rotators of the shoulder. A simple thing that you could do is simply just get a band, wrap it around your wrist, and go out on the band into shoulder external rotation, as you can see here. With this, the idea is just to hold this position, and you get a good sense of how strong your shoulder external rotators are. Now, depending on the band resistance, obviously it's going to be different. You want to get enough of a band resistance that you can go out against the band and hold it. The idea is if you can hold it for about 10 seconds without the hands coming in, you can start to think that maybe you might be lacking some shoulder strength into that particular region. Now, is this an end-all be-all test, a top-of-the-line evidence test? No, but it's a good idea to see if you lack some strength to this region and how it can contribute to maybe some shoulder issues brewing up. Okay, so now we address two ways you can look at maybe why you're developing some of the shoulder issues with overhead activity: flexibility standpoint and a strengthening standpoint. So now you might be thinking, well, what do you do to fix this type of issue? So let's address this issue with two things, one for flexibility and one for strength, to address this in both ways. Now you can see with this one, from a flexibility standpoint, we have to work on bringing the lat muscle through a lengthening position. So we're using, with this exercise, lat eccentrics, where we're loading the muscles through a lengthening position. The idea with this is we're gaining strength and control as the muscle lengthens, and as you do this repeatedly and over time, it can start to give some extensibility to that particular region you're trying to stretch out, which is, in this case, the lat muscle. Now, addressing the strength issue, we use a simple one that you can work into your ranges. So when we're on our hands and knees with this one and we raise our arm overhead, we're working on the ability to move into the position that you can control. So it's not like I'm face down in this video. I'm on my hands and my knees, so my arm is below my shoulder and I'm working into the range moving overhead, versus if I was lying completely flat, my arm is essentially over my head to begin with. So the idea with being on the hands and the knees, it allows you to move into the range of motion that you have available for you at this time. So there you go. Hopefully this video was helpful for you and gained some insight and a better understanding of how to address maybe some of the issues you might be having with your shoulder with overhead mobility. You have to take a step back and maybe not just go full force into just doing random exercises, and actually assess maybe what's going on from a flexibility standpoint and from a strength standpoint. Also guys, if you found this video helpful, please, to help out with the channel, subscribe, like, comment, leave any questions, turn on your post notifications so you never miss a video. And also, if you want to learn a little bit more about things that you can do for your shoulder and you want to get ahead of this thing, check out some of my free guides that I have on my website, and also some of the programs I have specifically just for the shoulder or some other regions of the body. I'll leave the link somewhere in this video down below in the description. Click, head you right over to the website. learn a little bit more about how these programs can help you, and also pick up some of the guides that are completely free on there. This is Dr. Nick. I'll see you next time.